welcome back to Nonsense Farm. This morning, the only agenda on the farm is to check in on every single beehive. And so I'm getting prepared because it's going to be up to 90 today. We're just getting used to the heat. So I thought before we got started, I would show you some of the things that I do to be able to physically get through the bees. I am a 60-year-old woman. Beekeeping is incredibly physical work. It involves lifting heavy things. The bee suit itself is incredibly warm. And so I thought I would show you some of the things we do. So first of all, basically I wear a full bee suit. This is an ultra bee suit, and I have owned several different bee suits, and so far this is my favorite one. Bee suits, full bee suits are very expensive, in the ballpark of, I don't remember, somewhere between $200 and $300. But and very important, because if you're just afraid you're going to be stung the whole time you're in the bees, you're not going to have a very good time and you're not going to stick with it. So that's one thing. And then another thing is I wear boots that, so the bee suit has elastic around the ankle, and I wear boots where it creates a seal. Like, I'm not going to wear tennis shoes where my ankles are exposed, so I'm not going to do that. Next thing, and this is the first time I'm trying this, but I'm wearing a camelback. So where I can easily drink inside my bee suit. You can drink through your bee veil. The problem is you have to make really sure there aren't any bees on your veil, which when you really get into the bees, you have a lot of bee pressure, so there's a lot of times bees on your veil. And if you push one into your lip, it's going to sting you through your veil. So trying out this camelback for the first time, not sure how that's going to go. It's mostly filled with ice. So hopefully that's going to keep me cool inside my bee suit rather than hot. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, another thing, I have a washcloth safety pinned inside my suit that will sit right here under my veil so that I can get in and I can wipe sweat out of my eyes, because that is definitely a thing. Another thing I have is I have a strap that I put my eyeglasses on, so that as I'm looking down and into boxes and things and my face gets sweaty, my glasses don't fall off. Again, because you want to avoid needing to interact with your face, because the more you interact with your face, the more chance you're going to push a bee into your face somewhere and get stung. So there's that. What else? Oh yeah. So of course have my cell phone with me, and I bring a stylus because you really can't operate your phone very well with gloves on. And speaking of gloves, these are new gloves that I got. So for years, I have a knit glove underneath this, and then a nitrile glove on top of it, and that does a good job. The problem is they go to here, which these bee suits do have Velcro, so you're able to close the wrist, but you can see where you could get a gap here, and that is not pleasant. So anyway, I found these. It's on a website called Dr. Bill's Bees, but these are called gauntlet gloves, and so I can wear these. Give me good dexterity to be able to manipulate frames, but yet you can see, my bee suit goes all the way down to my wrist, and my gauntlet glove comes all the way up here. So I have found that to be really, really good. And then these are both magnets to where you can put your hive tool, when you need to set it somewhere. When you're in hives, you're forever going, where did I set my hive tool? So, so there's that. So these are all of the things that I do to be prepared to be able to get through all of the hives. Oh, and another thing is, especially once summer starts in Texas, I will spray the outside of my bee suit with off, because there are chiggers everywhere here and they will get you. I need to actually mow out there by the hives, but anyway, we're going to be walking through some knee-high grass, and so we definitely don't want to get inflicted with hives. So we're ready to go. Let's go see how the bees are doing. So out here in the bee yard, definitely I need to do some stuff about this grass, but that is not what's on today's agenda. I'll have to do that at another time. So I think there's about 14 colonies to check on. I see that there are 3 nuke boxes. I have no idea if those are colonies that have taken or whatever. Some of them I just did the splits just to create room in the colonies that I split out of. So we are going to start with this big old colony. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to go through the colony and I'll just come back on and tell you anything interesting that I find, but I won't bore you with going through each and every colony. I had hoped the bees would be more calm today, but at least the first one I opened was not calm at all. This is the second one, and this is very full. They do not have a honey super, so I just brought over a super, and we're going to put that on. And what a honey super means is super refers to the fact that it's above. First we're going to put on this queen excluder. Golly, they're all over the place. This queen excluder. And then we'll put on this honey super. And the thought is, the hope is that the bees will fill this box with honey that we can harvest. And the reason you put a queen excluder in is so that the queen won't come up and lay eggs in the honey super, which is what you don't want. This is the fourth hive I've been through, and it's I'm finding pretty similar things in all the hives so far, and that is lots of bee population, active queens, which is great. Not a lot up in the honey supers yet. It is currently May 16th, and so usually our honey flow, goes May, June, so it's still very early, but that's typically what I'm finding so far. First, we're going to give them some smoke in the entrance. They really don't like the sound of the lid popping. That is an annoying sound to them. And the reason it pops is because they have coated it with propolis to seal it down. Boy, they really have this one sealed down, don't they? All right. Yeah, really full here too. Nice full box of bees. Let's see if they're putting anything in this honey super. Smoke them down a little bit more. Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's how many frames I run in a honey super. We're just starting to see the very beginnings of nectar up here. All right, this one's a little heavier. All right, look at this. A little bit of capped. So, all right, well, this has plenty of population, and they are starting to put honey up into the super. So I'm not going to dig down any lower to bother them. So this one is more ahead of any of the other colonies that we've checked so far this morning. And that's the 6th out of 14. Next one is a nuke. Let's see if they have become a thriving hive. Now this is a nuke that is a split that I would have made out of one of the larger colonies, mostly to try to give them room. I certainly don't need any more bee colonies, but anyway, just judging on the population going in and out of this hive, I would say we're not going to find bees in here, but Well, maybe. Well, let's look and see, shall we? Certainly don't see any evidence of a queen. So yeah, I don't think this one took, which is fine. Really, the reason I did the split was to make more room. Well, they have been drawn out wax. So maybe as I go through the next couple, I'll try and get some frames of, there's a hive beetle, don't like that. Maybe I'll try and get a frame or two of babies and see if I can revive this one. They haven't given up the ghost yet. These bees have a definite attitude problem. They are crazy. Unfortunately, those are the ones that I took eggs out of to put into that nuke, so those genetics will be propagated, but that was the next hive. So there's a few of them that are super testy, so I'll need to requeen them in the fall when the nectar flows over. The good news is that mean bees tend to make more honey. This is exciting. I got to another nuke and it looks like this one took, so I haven't actually checked for a queen yet, but there's lots of population, so I thought I would bring you to look with me. So, see, lots of population. Let's look for a queen. Okay, we definitely have a queen. Yep, 100% we do. Look right there, we've got all stages of larva right there. All right, I'm just gonna close them up because as riled up as the bees are in this bee yard, these guys will be prime time for getting attacked. So I'm closing them up, but yay, we had a nuke take, that's amazing. I found a hive without a queen. So there's plenty of bees in this colony, but they definitely do not have a queen. I have 2 more to go through, so if I find a frame of eggs, I'll donate it to this hive to see if they can rehabilitate themselves. But yeah, they don't have much of anything going on. And there we're done. We got through every single colony. We found one nuke that I added some eggs to see if they could still raise up a queen. Found one nuke with absolutely nothing in it. Found another nuke, really doing well. Found one colony with no queen in it, and I put a frame of eggs in there. They're just starting to put a little bit of honey. The smoke makes me cough. A little bit of honey up in the supers, and we're supposed to get rain this week, so hopefully that will bring on the nectar even more. And now I'm going to pack up and go home because I can't do anything out at the farm when I have the bees this jacked up. I can't. They come after me all over the farm. So I'm going to go home and I'll see y'all on the next video.